Well, hello there. It's been a while, couple weeks even. Welcome back to Throw Up Thursdays, where you come, barf your problems, and leave feeling better. We have a special guest today. Let Olivia on first. So, I am Dr. J.J. Kelly, the punk rock doc, and I am the founder of Unorthodox Inc., our punk alternative to traditional psychotherapy and the current mental health system. In 2 seconds, hi Grace. Joining me in 2 seconds will be one of our docs at Unorthodox. Yay!
Hi.
Ta-da!
How you doing?
Good. This, everyone, is Olivia, one of our docs, who you, I'm sure, remember, adds a lot to the live. There's Sam. Okay, so, special guest today.
Drum roll.
Yes. You got to see the thing Sam just put on his story to announce this. He, said, go lay down on the ground, and then I'll push on your chest, and whatever laugh comes out is your real laugh. And I was like, what? And then he pushed on my chest and it sounded like a buffalo. It was the most unflattering thing ever. And I was like, that is not my laugh. He's like, no, what comes after it? So to everyone else, this is my brother Sam. He's visiting from the Midwest.
Yay.
And I thought we would have Sam ask a question. Hey, Corey's here. Corey, Sam.
Hi, Corey.
I made Sam, I'm saying it like it's an invitation, but I was like, dude, ask a question. Do it.
So you got a question?
Yeah.
Do I have a choice?
Nope.
That's my question. No.
No.
So take it away, Sam.
Well, I was just wondering, learning from you guys and hearing everything, what are some ways to keep yourself accountable when you're alone? To acting to your own values.
Well, give us a live example. Like procrastination question? Is that what you're talking about?
Sure, yeah, that'll work.
Well, give me a live example. That's how we do here.
A live example?
Yeah. I assume you're talking about yourself and trying to cover it up.
Yeah. I'm going to go back home,
Okay.
And it's like, what do I do to keep myself from staying away from the bullshit, my own bullshit, or to keep
accountable for what?
The things that I want to do.
Like what?
Like painting and reading and staying on track to the goals that I want to accomplish.
I have an answer. Do you want to try? Hey. Do you want to try it first or second?
You can go first.
Okay. Well, I would start. It's weird to not go, hey.
Yeah.
But we're gonna keep it like this. Okay. So, what I would do, Sam, is ask you what emotions are you experiencing that are getting in the way of you activating yourself toward the thing that you want? If you're making choices that aren't the choices that are the most effective.
So shame.
Okay. Good one. We like that. I mean, it sucks. It's terrible. But
We do.
But the fact that you can name shame when everybody hides from shame, the fact that you can just say it is a great thing. So, and on a live for the first time too, that I strong armed you into.
That you're not even, you're doing with your face in it too.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. So, shame is a showstopper for sure. It leads to procrastination because it almost automatically has some anxiety in it. So that's a double whammy right there. So if you are, okay, if you make a choice, let's say you wake up, you have your coffee, whatever, you drive it. Going to kill you later. So you get up, you don't have coffee, you go to the studio. What's happening here? There we go.
I don't know what's.
There we go.
Okay.
It's all right. We'll just keep going. Go to the studio because you've made a choice to paint. And then you get there and, you know, maybe you dick around for a while or whatever.
Naturally.
But you know what? Then build in the dicking around. Like set an alarm for 10 minutes or something. Allow yourself the dick around time. And then, okay, so let's say you do that. And then the alarm goes off and you just like turn it off. And then just keep dicking around. So there is, those are like 4 choice points in there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could even latch on to one of them and go, okay, I keep doing this. It's like hitting the snooze button like on life.
Mm-hmm.
I keep doing this, so what am I feeling that I keep hitting the snooze on this decision? Oh, it's shame. All right, so what do I do for myself with shame? And you're going to learn the justified, unjustified shame too. In this case, I think it's probably justified because you're going against your values. So you earned the shame.
Right.
And if you know, or you buy the idea that coming out from hiding with the shame, like naming it, is most of the battle, which is what I think, then you're more than halfway there. However, less thinking, more doing.
But allowing myself to have the space to be able to have like the dick around time or whatever.
I do. Yes.
Because that would eliminate the shame. Then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Olivia, go ahead.
I think that sometimes I always do this, especially like at the beginning of the year when I have all these like New Year's resolutions and I'm like, I'm going to do all of this stuff. And then I like,
don't do that.
I know I don't do it anymore, but I did for a while and I would overwhelm myself by these like big goals. And then I would just not do anything on it at all because I'm like, oh, I can't get to that. You know, it's just too scary and too big. And I would feel fear, I think also that I would like not achieve the goals that I wanted to. And so I just wouldn't do it anyways. And then I would be feeling shame about the fact that I didn't try. It's like this vicious cycle.
It is.
But something that helps me is to make really tiny goals that are like, I would have to try very hard to just not even achieve them. And kind of like when I was trying to get myself to go on more walks at the beginning of the pandemic, I set a goal that I would just walk around the block. And just do that. And then if I want to walk more, I could. But as long as I got out of my house and then stack on, like build on that one goal until you get to the like walking a mile or whatever. And that way you're like tricking yourself into doing it and you're not scaring yourself from like the bigness of this like intangible thing.
Yes. Well said. Love the baby steps. Celebrate even the tiny wins. Start with baby pieces. And the thing about shame too, I think it creates a stoppage because like if you didn't paint yesterday and you have shame about not paint, are you fucking listening?
Yeah. I have to look there to listen?
I know.
My first line! Look at the ground!
So shame. If you didn't paint yesterday, you might double your goal today. You might be like, well, I didn't do it yesterday, so I have to do this and this. And now you've set yourself up where any normal human being would fucking procrastinate because that is a setup for overwhelm, totally. And I think you do that a ton. Yeah, you're smiling and nodding. Yeah. Do you?
Who are you talking?
Who's that handsome? Do you think you do that?
Say that again?
You didn't paint yesterday, so today you're like, okay, I gotta do
Read
this.
and paint.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you pile on. Yeah.
Like the shit that I didn't do the year before.
Yes. And I think that is a major piece of your particular procrastination. But dude, tons of people do that. Tons of people do that. It's just you have an art form. Plus you got Nate telling you all the artistic reasons when I'm like, no, dude, this isn't an art fucking conversation. It's a psychological conversation. Like, he's like, he doesn't address the shame with you. And shame is the stopper. So, yeah, I think the stack up. Now go clean the deck. Just kidding! Just kidding. You did such a good job.
He's not kidding, though. That's exactly what I'm going to do after that.
It is, but I would not order him like that unless it was in jest. You did a good job. Good first live, buddy.
Yay!
Nailed it.
Yes, yes. You have any other questions?
No.
Good job.
Buddy. You can push on my chest later and we'll
Alright.
be even. All right.
That was fun.
So, yeah. This been like, dude, cry laughing every day. Dude,
Aww.
so good for the soul.
Yeah.
And, the pandemic. I mean, we don't even laugh. I never even remember what we're laughing at. It's just
That's the best. I
really
love
funny.
that.
Yeah. It's
That's
pretty
so
great.
fun.
Yep.
I don't know if you can hear it, but they started the construction on the house, so there's drilling.
I can't
Okay, cool. I was hoping the headphones would help. So,
Kirby. Yeah.
Cool.
So,
So, I have some questions prepared as well. So kind of on that note, when we talked on the phone the other day, we were talking like it was yesterday, which was the inauguration.
mhm.
Exciting.
Yeah.
And how it feels like
Leaving.
there's this kind of like new air and like a weight is being lifted off. So I was wondering if there's some ways that we can all help ourselves move forward and kind of slough off the past pressure that we've been holding on to in order to like refresh ourselves and like not keep carrying that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I was talking to somebody about, like, I'm going to teach him how to drive stick. And there's that thing with the clutch and the gas. You don't drive stick, but do you understand this? Like,
No.
okay. Well, you have to let up on the clutch and push at the gas or you'll stall out.
Okay.
And it has to happen like simultaneously and in balance. There's a push and pull that has to have an even finesse to it for the car to go. And I really think that right now there is a letting go and adding in that's going on. We gotta with yucky stuff out, yummy stuff in, and that kind of has that same balance as you're emptying out, as you're letting go of the past, as you're, like grieving and letting go, then the happy can come in because there's room for it. So I think that's one is, you can do the saging, you can do the salt baths, you can do the just saying I'm letting go. You can write out everything that was crap last year and then burn it. Say please. And so there's that part, the actual rituals that you like to do for letting go. And then this is funny because it kind of loops into what we were just talking about with shame. In this case, the grieving and letting go of last year and all that it entailed. I think that we want to not pile on.
Yeah.
Because last year had all this stuff we didn't get done.
Yeah.
Whatever. Now we got to double our efforts in 2021. Well, doubling our efforts probably still means like half of what we're capable of because it's twice what we did last year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I still am in favor of keeping the productive bar low-ish so that we can achieve in baby steps and then build on that and keep building on that so we don't just peter out in a procrastinatory, overwhelmed nightmare.
Yeah, definitely.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think so. Well, that also, because when we were talking about Sam's thing, it made me think about how we don't, like in unorthodox and in the programming, we don't use the word lazy.
Oh yeah, no.
Because people go there, but it's not like, do you want to talk about why we don't use the word lazy?
Why don't you say?
So, well, people say like, "Oh, I'm feeling lazy" as like an emotion, but it's not an emotion because it's a judgment and it's a pretty mean thing as well. Usually, when you're saying like, "Oh, I'm just lazy,"
Sam,
it's
can you hear this?
it's like
Never
well,
mind.
that's like there's usually like either anxiety or fear or shame behind it. It's hiding, it's like masking what other emotions you're feeling,
Mhm.
and you're beating yourself up about it and like not even acknowledging it. And you're also not giving yourself the agency to just decide to not do something either.
Right.
You're like, oh, I'm just a lazy person, so I can't do something. So it's very like ragdolly
Right.
and robbing yourself of any agency. Because sometimes you could just choose to procrastinate something, but you're still making that choice.
Yes. I think that's the healthier way to go. Like building in the dick around time when you first get to the studio. Fine,
Mm-hmm.
great, whatever. That's a choice. And it acknowledges choice instead of this way where it's like, oh, this snoozy kind of thing just keeps happening.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would just like to add that we call what in the world is willfulness, willful
Mm-hmm.
behavior in DBT, which usually doing the opposite of effective, which is essentially what willfulness is caused by two major players, fear and anger. Fear, oh my God, I don't know where to start, so I don't. Anger, I'm not fucking doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Both are a choice. I think that the overwhelm is a little less of an obvious choice because we kind of short out. However, if we brought the production bar down to a level that was tolerable, we wouldn't short out. So that
Mm-hmm.
overwhelm thing sometimes is a bullshit way we offload responsibility for accomplishing tasks that we want to do. Oh my God, I can't. Oh, I'm so overwhelmed. And it's like, that's so hard because we want to validate all feelings.
Yeah.
However, you know when you're getting bullshitty and exaggerating or some sort of milking that goes on
Yeah.
of emotions, you know when you're like out of your own alignment. And sometimes that is how it goes.
Yeah. There's been so many times, I haven't done this in a while, where I'll be like, oh, I'm too overwhelmed to do these tasks. And then I'm like, okay, fuck, I'm just going to do it this day. And it takes me like an hour to do all of the things that I've been putting off for like
No.
weeks. And you're like, okay, well.
Yep. Yep. Action. I was just talking about this with a bunch of professional artists today. Like the first step between no action and some action is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Even if there are 20 or 200 more steps before you're finished, it still just like feels more relieving to go from nothing to something.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's the point of keeping it so little, so you get over that first hump that's so difficult, or we make it ourselves believe that it's difficult.
Yeah.
So, hi, Megan and Andrea. Is there anybody else I'm supposed to say hi to?
I think I saw
Oh, Amy.
Grace,
Yeah,
Jess,
that's
and
great.
Bella are here.
Hello.
Oh, fun. We got a whole gang.
Hello. All right. So, yeah, I think we covered. Did we cover it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So I have a question from Grace,
Oh,
who's
right on.
one of our docs.
Yay.
So they texted this to me before.
Oh, Audrey. Hi, Audrey.
We have a housemate who was our lead tenant, but essentially refuses to communicate with us at all. And if they do, they only do it over text. Today they asked for their Wi-Fi router back without any notice. I have class and work all day most days that requires Wi-Fi access, and I'm fucking livid that now we have to scramble to deal with this. I think communicating with them is a lost cause, and I'm trying to practice radical acceptance, but I'm so fucking mad. What do I do?
Yeah. Yeah, be mad. That's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Total bullshit. Here's the part where we have talked about this too. You and we do this thing in particular, by the way, that I'm about to talk about, which is I'm so fucking pissed I have to do this now. You don't have to. There's that choice elimination thing right there that takes our agency, our freedom away. You don't have to. You could go somewhere else for Wi-Fi. You could just blow off your work. I'm not suggesting these things. I'm just simply illustrating that you don't have to. You want to because it makes your life easier after this fuckery to just deal with the Wi-Fi. These are things that as a young adult, I remember being like, oh, I fucking don't want to do this. Like adult things, like setting up Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. It sounds like communication with that person is pointless because who the fuck does that kind of thing anyway? Lame. So yeah, validate the anger, radically accept that this is a shitty situation, and radically accept that you have to make choices now to make your life smoother despite this shitstorm.
Yeah.
And then I want you, Grace, to celebrate how grown you are, that you can advocate for yourself when you're enraged. The rage is telling us our boundaries are being crossed. That's what happened. Yeah. And you dealt with it. Congratulations. Like shit happens, you know? And it sucks. And it happened. So you do the thing. I think Grace is probably grappling a little bit with, am I trying to get out of talking to this person? Like, am I just making this so? But I'm not getting that. I don't think that's the bullshit there. It does sound like confronting this person is like dumb. Thank you. I'm super proud of yeah. Yes, totally. Dude, it's tough staying regulated and making choices in alignment with your values when you are simultaneously super validating of your rage. Because that tips so easily. We give ourselves permission. I'm gonna yell at this person because they, and it seems so real at the time.
Yeah. Especially when it's a thing that's like so easy to like, when you hear them like, oh, that fucking sucks. Like, of course you're pissed. And you're like, yeah, of course I'm pissed.
Right.
Fuck this part. And it's like so.
Totally. I'm gonna behave not according to my values now because I'm mad.
Yeah. And who would say that's wrong? You know? Yeah.
Totally.
Oh my God, that's so tricky.
Totally. But you know, I think Grace in particular is very skilled at these roommate things at this point. Whoa. It's been a lot of roommate stuff for them. So yeah. Revenge fantasies for real. So, you know, make a comic.
And it's funny, and to laugh at it.
Yeah. And role play it out with another roommate where they're the one you're mad at, and then you switch roles and you both get to say everything that you wanted to say to that person to each other, and you'll end up in tears laughing. Because it's going to be funny how like sort of ridiculous your statement is, and that you're role playing it out. I mean, that's just funny. That's fun. That's theater. It's good.
And I think laughing at the anger helps it from being like this scary or like shameful thing, which I mean, I think Grace is not gonna feel shame about being angry, but I think it's easy when you're new at validating your rage and your anger to go, oh, is that awful? Because sometimes you think something, you're like, yeah, that's a fucked up thing, and you're angry. So like, it's important to say out loud, and then once you laugh about it and let it out of your body, it's not this like gremlin that you've locked in the chain in the middle of your like brain or whatever.
Yeah. And you know me, I like to go way dark with this like revenge fantasy shit, just because the saying it and laughing about it, you know, people don't do it because they think that makes me a bad person, which is a little narcy, because we all are dark and have these dark thoughts. And it's actually the ones that stuff that shit for years that end up actually doing fucked up stuff. Because if you stuff that darkness, it's going to come out sideways. So I think the funny role playing, and then I don't know, eat some cake together after, you know, whatever, you know, have a glass of champagne together and celebrate how like whole of a human being you both are.
Yeah.
Having the maturity and creativity to deal with it this way. Dude,
Yeah.
artists are gonna save this world. Creativity is where it's at, even in the dark role play stuff. So important. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It doesn't need to mean anything. It doesn't need to mean you're mean.
Yeah.
Like, who are we kidding? We think super fucked up homicidal shit sometimes. And I think particularly, you know, like people assign female at birth, like there's a socialization thing around like gendered shit. And like, but mostly I think it's that people don't want to admit even to themselves silently that I just thought about knocking that person's teeth out and how satisfying that would feel. We're never advocating for actual violence, but those violent thoughts, when addressed, noticed, and in a mature way are let go, laughed at, then they're gone for like ever. They're not harboring in you, affecting new choices in tiny increments, but then bigger increments over time with the amount that's stuffed. Fuck it. It's too exhausting. Just be real. It's funny anyway.
Yeah.
Right, every comedian knows this. So, like,
Yeah.
Well, that was fun. Okay, one more.
Okay. So this one's from Megan. Maybe, so we'll see if we want to answer this one, and then because it's kind of a big one. And
oh, Jesus.
if
sorry.
not, well, so they asked what to do when you find out a good friend is a QAnon believer.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
You know, I think, oh, shit. I think maybe we're going to have to do like a whole political one of these. However, I'm going to answer that in a general way and a very brief way. How to break up with a friend. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That we can get into for sure. I just think we want to mostly surround ourselves with people that have values, our values match, whatever they are. And it doesn't have to be 100% by any means. But, you know, if someone's going around saying that the sky is green and we pretty collectively accept that the sky is blue, then no amount of talking them out of it is going to be worth it or at all fruitful. So then if the choice is to break up with that friend, there are, a couple different ways to do it, which is one, I don't know, sometimes just people grow apart and you can make a decision to, I don't know, not answer things. I don't like ghosting of any kind because I feel shame about that. However, I do weigh whether it might be the kinder thing to do for them, especially since my default is to go in there and say everything. That can sort of weaponize the truth sometimes. Like, to go to somebody and be like, you know, I don't think I really want to be friends with you anymore because, like, your whole personality is something I don't agree with. You know, like, I don't want to tell somebody something like that. Like, if there's no real chance of, if you don't want to repair the relationship, then sometimes truth can be just a weapon. So sometimes fading back into the, you know, like, fucking what, they're gonna text you in 2 months or something, and then you're just like, I don't know what I'm even gonna say to this person, and then you forget about it, and then you're gonna feel guilty. Nah, just like decide you're gonna blow off the next 3 and see what happens. Like, if they come back and they're like, why aren't you answering my text? Then maybe you're going to have a conversation. But if it's this like complete diverging of values and personalities, it could still just be like general, like, I just think we've become different people and I appreciate having been your friend. And I think we're just going in different directions now. I wish you all the best. Bye. That is a hard conversation to have. I certainly, particularly because Megan is one of the docs and therefore trained not to text. You know, I don't like any of you guys to do conflict of any kind via text because everyone your age does. And texting can so easily degrade into a coward's dream come true, and none of you guys are cowards. Over my dead body, you are all brave. You know what your values are, and you can do the scary thing to protect all the self-esteem and self-confidence that you have built over time. So you are worth protecting by not taking the coward's route and texting somebody. Now, that might seem to contradict what I said about like not returning their text, but that's up to you. That's a deliberate decision made beforehand from a mindful place based in your values. You know, yes, I can guess what friend. Yes, I knew right the few texts above what friend it was, Megan. Yes, and we will discuss that for sure. That was always going in a Q direction, probably.
Oy, oy, oy.
Yikes. Okay. Did you have a follow-up to that one, or did you have one more?
I have a couple more, but we can save them for next week.
It's up to you. What are you feeling?
Why don't we save it for next week?
Groovy. Let's do that.
This was so fun to do it again.
Yes, the energy is back, dude. I love it. All right. So every Thursday, 4:00 PST, we do Throw Up Thursday. I hope those of you that barfed your problems leave feeling a lot better. And if you want to do more work, you can always do a free consult with me. You can just set it up on Acuity that I don't even understand, some sort of scheduling thing on my drjjkelly.com. You can text. There's a number there, the 510-595-7594. You can text me. Whatevs. We can do more work together, but we will be here again next week.
And you can either DM JJ, DM me, text me if you know me with a question if you don't want to ask on the call. If it comes up during the week, I'll hide your identity if you want that. We're here to help.
Nice. Love you back, Grace. Bye, Olivia.
Bye.